Greetings, I'm Ron de Parmesan, and this is Newscats. On September 17th and 18th of this year, Lebanon was rocked by a terrifying series of explosions. Imagine a peaceful morning suddenly shattered by the sounds of deafening blasts. This was the grim reality, as at least 37 individuals lost their lives, and over 3,600 others were injured. The blasts specifically targeted handheld pagers linked to Hezbollah communication devices. This shocking turn of events signals an alarming escalation in hostilities between Israel and Hezbollah. The initial wave of attacks resulted in 12 deaths and nearly 2,800 injuries. Just 24 hours later, another round of explosions caused an additional 25 deaths and more than 700 injuries. These dreadful events raise serious concerns about whether Lebanon teeters on the brink of a larger conflict. The use of common devices like pagers for such deadly attacks marks a disturbing change in tactics. Authorities and regional experts warn that this increase in violence could prompt significant military actions between Israel and Hezbollah as both sides strive to cement their control over the region. International calls for restraint have been made, urging both parties to engage in diplomatic talks and to prevent further bloodshed. Hassan Nasrallah, the leader of Hezbollah, and a pivotal figure in this turbulent situation, is known for his fiery oratory and relentless stance against Israel. Having led Hezbollah since 1992, he is set to address the Lebanese public soon. This anticipated statement could potentially outline Hezbollah's strategy moving forward, possibly including vows for retaliation against what he perceives as Israeli aggression. This rhetoric serves as both a rallying cry and a method of reinforcing Hezbollah's narrative of resistance. It aims to portray the group as the protectors of Lebanese sovereignty, rallying support among its followers. On the flip side, Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant offers a starkly contrasting perspective. With his military background as a retired Major General, Gallant takes a hardline approach to Hezbollah, asserting that the explosions could be seen as a legitimate military action against a group he views as a significant threat. He emphasizes that Israel is prepared for what he termed a new era of conflict, highlighting a belligerent stance that contributes to the cyclical violence in this contested region. Each side justifies its actions through a lens of defense and necessity, making the pathway to peace even more challenging. The humanitarian fallout from these attacks is a pressing concern. Firas Abiad, Lebanon's health minister, confirmed the rising death toll during a recent briefing, emphasizing that many of the injured remain in critical condition. His statements showcase the immense strain on Lebanon's healthcare system during a time of crisis. With an economy already in disarray, managing the treatment of hundreds of injured citizens presents a substantial challenge. Emergency responders are under extreme pressure, highlighting the dire state of public health. Many of the injured are suffering from severe eye, facial, and limb injuries, further stressing an already overburdened medical system. The chaotic timeline of events began on September 17th, when the first series of explosions occurred, igniting widespread fear of continued violence. By September 18th, reports confirmed that the devastation had only intensified. The Lebanese Health Ministry provided updates that made official what was already painfully evident. The consequences of these attacks extend well beyond the immediate casualties. This pattern of violence not only impacts those in Lebanon, but reverberates throughout the region, influencing everyday life and reshaping geopolitical strategies. In addition to the pressing humanitarian implications, these attacks also reflect a worrying shift towards asymmetric warfare tactics. The use of pagers, turned deadly in these blasts, raises serious ethical questions about civilian safety. The randomness and indiscriminate nature of the explosions underline an increasing lethality in military engagements, with local populations caught in the crossfire of conflicts often stoked by greater regional interests. The implications of such tactics highlight a troubling trend where ordinary citizens bear the brunt of decisions made far from their homes. As the dust settles and conflicting narratives begin to emerge, Hezbollah perceives the explosions as assaults on its sovereignty, while Israel argues that its military responses are preemptive measures to counter a persistent threat. This polarized view complicates international discussions, as both sides aim to frame themselves as the victims in this ongoing struggle. Historical grievances and power dynamics amplify the conflict's complexities and present limited possibilities for compromise. With voices from ordinary Lebanese citizens expressing deep fears about what this escalated violence might mean for their daily lives, it is clear that the impact reaches far beyond military clashes and political rhetoric. Local residents express their resignation, longing for peace in a storm that seems only to grow stronger. Moreover, the implications of these explosions extend beyond the immediate human toll, reaching into the realm of international response. Nations and organizations around the world are reacting to this rising tension, with concerns about a humanitarian catastrophe if the violence continues to escalate. The United Nations has called for an immediate end to hostilities, urging a diplomatic resolution that others fear may be slipping further out of reach. As hopes for peace grow dimmer, the continued support for Hezbollah from Iran adds another layer of tension to the landscape, complicating an already charged environment. As we monitor these dramatic developments, it becomes increasingly clear that the situation is fragile, caught in a cycle of aggression and retaliation. Watching closely are global actors intent on preventing an all-out war, with the hope that a return to meaningful dialogues could yield a respite from violence. The hope for peace rests in the balances of those involved, requiring them to step back from the brink and pursue paths of negotiation. These events don't just affect Lebanon, they radiate throughout the region, influencing relationships and strategies for years to come. As we reflect on these devastating developments, it is crucial to stay informed. Remember to subscribe to our channel for more updates and in-depth coverage on critical global issues like this unfolding situation in Lebanon source. Stay safe, everyone, and tune in as we continue to bring you the latest news as it happens. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Ron de Parmesan, and this has been another Newscat special report. Meow.